Welcome everybody to the next round of the 100K in 100 Days Challenge. I cannot believe we've been running this challenge for almost a year now. We started this in May of 2024. It's been so much fun watching professionals just crush their business. Now, today we are going to cover a lot of ground really quickly. This will not be an exhaustive, every single data point you need to know to execute the challenge call, because honestly, that would take 6 to 8 hours, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to hang out with me for that long. Today, we're going to cover high level, the launch. We're going to walk through the roadmap, where the resources are at, how to lay out your game plan, so that over the next week or so, 6 days or so, between now and the next accountability call, you have all the knowledge, tools, and resources. You've gone in and you've learned what you needed to learn. You've understood the basis of this challenge, and you're ready to start absolutely crushing it. I'm going to cover a few different things today. We're going to do a lot of screen share. I'm going to walk through the actual 13-page roadmap that outlines all of the things that make up this challenge, what those strategies are, where those resources are, some accountability items for you. And then we're going to do a screen share. I'm going to show you the Google Drive full of all the resources and tools you need to execute those strategies. You're all going to have access to it. I will put all of that information in the recap email as well. But I want to just really quickly show you what it looks like, so when you jump in for the first time, it's not so unfamiliar and you know where to navigate to get to all of the data. I'm going to show you a couple other resources that we have for the challenge. And then from there, we'll just open it up for Q&A, make sure everybody's on the same page. And from there, we'll wrap up the call. This launch will probably take about 45 to 60 minutes, depending on the Q&A. And then afterwards, when the recap email goes out, you'll have the recording of this call, the Google Drive with all the tools and resources, a couple key points in the email. You'll have everything you need to start just absolutely crushing your business, following the strategies that we're showing you today. Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to start with the roadmap. So the roadmap is a 13-page PDF that we built specifically for the challenge. The goal of this challenge is to help you generate $100,000 or more into your pipeline within a 100-day period. That can be closed business, pending transactions, active buyers and sellers, or future business. We have had agents far exceed the $100,000 mark consistently. We've been running this challenge since May of 2024. So we are multiple rounds into this. We've launched one almost every month. And agents that grab this, go to work, and just execute are just having a ball, making a lot of money, and doing it in ways that don't feel pressure. They don't feel salesy. They're just out there doing it in a natural way. And you'll understand what I mean as we walk through the strategies. Okay, a couple quick things before we dive into the nuts and bolts. You'll notice on this roadmap, and again, you're going to get the actual link to this roadmap in the wrap-up email, so don't feel like you have to try to scramble and type anything out. Everything's going to be provided. There's a couple very important links I just want to direct your attention to. The first one is the Telegram group. We used to run this challenge on Facebook Messenger, and we realized that we very quickly were exceeding our capacity. Facebook Messenger, we didn't realize at the start, it only allows you to hold 250 people at a time. We far exceeded that many professionals in the challenge at any one time. So we moved over to Telegram, which is completely secure. It's end-to-end encrypted. It's private, but it's also really clean and organized, and you can categorize by subject. So it made the challenge actually far more efficient and orderly than the Facebook Messenger allowed us to do anyway. So you're going to get the link to join the Telegram group, the link to the Google Drive, which is where everything is housed. I'm going to show you what the Google Drive looks like, but every strategy, every category of the challenge has its own individual folder. So again, you can go straight to the resource you need at the time. You're going to see that that's laid out pretty straightforward. You're going to have that in the recap email. And then this specific roadmap, I'm going to drop the individual link to the roadmap in the recap email in case you, for whatever reason, lose the others. You'll at least have the roadmap to start with. The roadmap is the starting point, right? It's the, hey, I have a question about a strategy. What was that fine-tooth thing? Or I forgot what other thing I was supposed to be doing between now and the launch, or now in the accountability call. I had a question about the nitty-gritty details of something. Go into the Google Drive. It's right at the front. It says start here, and you'll be able to pull up this entire roadmap that we're going to walk through today. And then last but not least, I say optional, but it's highly encouraged. It's super worth being in. We also have a private Facebook group that we drop all of our information in, the replays to accountability calls, periodic engagement in the group. The Telegram works off of your phone or off of a web browser, so it's a pretty good setup. But we had already built out a Facebook group that we continue to grow as well. So you're gonna have all of those resources. The second page of this roadmap, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I just want to highlight the second page of the roadmap. That is for you. That is the initial homework, if you will. That's what you're going to need to execute between today and next Monday's accountability call so that we know you are ready to start working the challenge and growing your business. So obviously join the Telegram group. That's a no-brainer. Set your own calendar reminder with this Zoom link for every Monday, noon Eastern, on your own calendar, right? I am not going to add every single person that ever joined the challenge into a giant calendar invite with reminders. We're all grown adults here. Set this on your own calendar so that you show up to the accountability calls. Open your CRM and just play around with it a little bit. We've given you some very specific tasks. The goal here is not to micromanage you. It's not to treat you like a fifth grader. We found that many real estate professionals, whether you're a loan officer or a real estate agent, many real estate professionals don't use their CRM effectively. They don't know how to use it. So really what we're asking you to do is just dive in and play around so that if you have questions, you can ask them early. And that way, when you start generating business and you're putting people into your CRM for quality follow-up, you're not trying to learn it on the fly when you've got clients at stake. So we just want you to kind of treat yourself as a client. That's why we say add yourself, add some tags, set it up so that you understand how it's working for you. Same thing with the MLS if you're an agent. Go into your MLS, make sure you understand how property search works, play around with it. Obviously, if you're a lender, you're not necessarily going to have access to the MLS. Don't worry about that. But you should probably still have a CRM as a lender. So definitely work that piece. Okay. And then we're going to dive into the strategies in just a minute. But point number 5, where it says open Facebook and post one property from the MLS to the marketplace. You can also do something that you found on Zillow or Realtor or Redfin. If you're an agent, if you're a lender, reach out to a listing agent. If you're an agent, you can go into your hot sheet on the MLS. Either agent or lender, you can go to a FSBO. We're going to talk about that in a couple minutes. But you want at least one property posted in this 6-day period so that you know how to do it. You can ask your questions about it. If you need an example, you can ask. We can send you an example about it. We want to make sure you're set up for success as we launch into the challenge. Okay. These last two are super important. I probably should have put them on as number 1, quite frankly. There is a folder in the Google Drive titled Business Planning for Real Estate. Inside that folder is a short coaching call titled Business Planning for Real Estate. And there is a workbook titled, you guessed it, Business Planning for Real Estate Workbook. This is where you're going to set up your yearly business roadmap. The workbook follows the coaching call exactly. You're going to leave that coaching call with everything you need to execute your business, calendar management, business priorities. What are my goals? What milestones am I tracking? What activities am I doing? How am I putting that into my calendar day by day and hour for hour? Right? That call will get you set up as the foundation of everything else we're going to build on top of. Okay, so please don't skip over that. Build out your business roadmap. It's super important. And then over the course of this week, right, it doesn't have to happen today, but between now and Monday, sooner to the better, go into the Google Drive, familiarize yourself with the tools and resources in each folder, watch the coaching call replays in each one. None of the coaching call replays, I think, are more than about 45 minutes. Some of them are in the 30s, some are in the 40s. But they were designed to give you the knowledge, the tools, and resources you need to execute the strategy properly. So watch the replay, read through the resources. If there's a script, a template, an example, right? Familiarize yourself with the content of the challenge. And then if you have questions, bring those back to the Telegram, bring those back to the Facebook group. Don't be shy as you learn how we're going to run this thing. Okay, let's talk a little bit about how we're going to run this thing. So there are about 7 or 8 different bullet points here. I'm just going to go through these pretty fast. There's a lot of information here, and I don't want to bore you to death line by line. I know you can read. So I'm going to hit the high points. I'm not going to go over every line item of the frequently asked questions. I just want you to understand the concepts. So the first thing we're going to show you, the strategy that most people start diving into first. We want you to use Facebook Marketplace in order to post for sale listings, and we'll talk about for rent listings in a minute, that spark conversations with buyers. All right, so lenders, you can do this even if you don't have the MLS. Go to Zillow, go to Realtor, call your FSBOs, bump into some of your favorite agents and ask them what they got. Agents, you can do this: Zillow, Realtor, FSBOs, MLS, Hot Sheet, whatever you want to do. But the goal is to maintain a minimum of 30 active listings on Facebook at all times. You will exceed that as you continue to post. Some they're going to come off, some are going to go sold, some are going to go pending. So it's a constant, every day I'm going to look for something to post. Every week or so, I'm going to go in and refine. Oop, that one needs to come out. I need to delete that. I need to mark that sold. But the goal is to keep 30 active listings at all times on Marketplace. The more, the merrier. You can absolutely exceed 30. Now, notice under the action, it says post one Marketplace listing ad daily. Let me say that again. One a day, because Facebook has a bunch of bots and it has a bunch of algorithms, and it's not always a person with a brain sitting behind the wheel. If you try to do this strategy too fast, too soon, you will get your account marked as a spam. They won't let you post anymore. You'll be locked out for a period of time. That's inefficient. That doesn't help you grow. So trust me on this one. We've been running this challenge for a long time. We've kind of cracked the code on this. One a day for at least the first 2 weeks. Okay. After about 2 weeks, you've got 10, 12, 14 of them on there. You've started to engage some conversations, right? People are starting to view your stuff. If you want to do 2 a day, maybe 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon or evening to get to 30 a little faster, that's fine. But please don't rush this process. It's about consistency. 1 a day for at least the first 2 weeks, and then you get to 30 plus and you start maintaining them. Okay. I'm not going to read all of this. You can read this for yourself. I'm not going to bore you with the fine point details today. If you've never ever used Facebook Marketplace and you have no idea how to post, this link will take you to Facebook's tutorial on how to work Marketplace and put something on it. And then jump into the Telegram, jump into the Facebook and say, hey, does anyone have a good example of one? We'll share some examples of what's already out there so you can model it. There is a script template, a text template on how to ask a listing agent if you can post them. So you're going to have that resource available. So don't worry about, well, how do I go about even asking someone else to post their stuff? We got you covered all around on that. That's in the resources. All right, number 2, Facebook group listings. When you post on Facebook Marketplace, it is going to ask you if you want to post it into Facebook groups as well. You can post into up to 20 different Facebook groups that you are a member of. Obviously, post in the ones that are pertinent. So if you're putting a listing on the market in Middleburg, Florida, which is in Clay County, Florida, you might go Middleburg buy, sell, trade, Middleburg, what's going on, Middleburg online yard sale, Clay County for sell by whatever, right? The ones that are relative to the listing. Not every single group is going to get every single marketplace listing, because you're going to post them in different markets, different neighborhoods, different price point, different sizes. But where it makes sense, post in the groups as well. That's going to help build your brand in the groups. It's going to help you get seen as the go-to market expert who's always moving and shaking and doing real estate activities. So just take your time, look through the groups that you're a member of, maybe join some others if you're not in very many of them, and post the marketplace listing into those groups as well. Yeah. For rent ad on Marketplace. Again, we're still on Marketplace for the moment. You don't need 30 of these, but this is a different way to spark conversations with buyers. Rather than having a house on the market for sale and the buyer's already actively shopping for houses, this is a way to have conversations with renters in order to educate them on the buying process, get them pre-qualified, and get them ready to start buying a house. So it's a different strategy altogether. 1 or 2 of these is fine. Maybe 1 over here and 1 over there, different sides of your market, different price points. You could do 3 or 4, but you probably don't need more than 3 or 4. There is a folder in the drive titled Rent to Buy, everything you need to execute the strategy, including a video about how to do it, step-by-step walkthrough. We're giving you all the resources you need to knock this out of the park. It's just going to spark different conversations with potential buyers than the for sale marketplace listings will. It's two different strategies, two different conversations. Actively prospecting Facebook groups. Again, all of those local groups that we're just telling you to jump into. What's going on in word of mouth, blah, blah, blah county, right? All of those local friendly community groups where people are saying like, hey, whose dog is this over here? What are all those cop cars doing down at the Piggly Wiggly, right? Whatever it might be. You know which groups I'm talking about. Actively prospecting those groups is different than just posting a listing in those groups. With actively prospecting the groups, we're going to do a keyword search in the groups. At the top right of each group, there's a little magnifying glass that'll let you search the group. You're going to look for the words that would pop up in a conversation about buying or selling, right? So my favorites are realtor, lender, agent, boxes. Honestly, boxes is my favorite. I don't know. It just, in my market, it just hits right. And what happens is you're going to search the word, and then you're going to sort by recent so that the most current post about a realtor, lender, boxes, et cetera, is at the top. And where it makes sense, when you see a post that someone's asking about those items, just engage with them. Send them a message. Hey, I saw your post in Keystone Heights Word of Mouth about needing some boxes. Hey, listen, I'm a local lender. I got clients all over the place. I'm a local realtor. I constantly got clients coming and going. I can get my hands on boxes. What do you need? Tell me a little more. How many do you need? When do you need them by? Solve their problem as a way to engage and add value. And then you just continue the conversation. Because listen, nobody's asking for boxes because they're moving their dishes from the dining room table to the kitchen sink. If they're asking for boxes, it's most likely because they're about to make a move in a few months and they're just starting to get ready. A lot of times you get ahead of the lending process. You get ahead of a realtor. You're talking to people that haven't even bothered to start engaging with the professionals yet. They're just trying to get their own house in order. And so by adding that value, you get to have a conversation with a potential client, and then you just follow the logical path of the conversation, see what else they might need. When are they moving? Where are they moving? Are they buying? Are they renting? Right? Are they going to sell their house before they move, or are they moving before they have to sell? Just figure out what's going on and how you can best serve them. You spark a lot of great conversations with this strategy. Buyer search, right? Again, use your CRM for this. If you're an agent, you can also do this in the MLS. If you're a lender, most great CRMs can do this for you. Bottom line, the goal here is to maintain a consistent database of buyer needs. What size, what shape, what price, what area do your buyers that you've started talking to need? So when you find what they need, or when you're proactively prospecting to try to find what they need, you've got a database to work from. And then if you can set them on a proactive search of some kind, HomeBot, RealTracks, your MLS, like whatever you got, so that the right properties filter over to them, branded to your name. That's just going to be one extra layer of follow-up that you can engage with, right? We want to be very proactive in tracking our buyers' needs and finding the solution to their needs. Okay. Let's talk a minute about FSBOs. This is where most people are like, whoa, I'm too scared of FSBOs. I can't make that phone call, right? I promise you, after you go watch the coaching call on how to create a perpetual cycle of business with FSBOs and landlords, which is in the Google Drive for you, you're going to see a very, very different way to engage with for sale by owners. This is not salesy. This is not pushy. We're not trying to convince them of anything. We're not trying to change their mind. We're not even trying to get their listing. We're going to add so much value to the FSBO that they're going to allow us to market their property, to find buyers. Now we're going to generate new buyers to get qualified and go shop with. They can't all buy the one house. They're going to have to buy some houses. For the agents, as you build these relationships and as you nurture them and as you follow up, FSBOs will ask you to list their house. I know this because I do what I teach, and I have a lot of FSBO business. Half at any given time, 30 to 50% of my listing business is from FSBO relationships. And that's not like I have 3 listings and one of them's a FSBO. That's like I have 14 active listings and 6 of them are FSBOs, right? This is highly effective if you do it the way I'm showing you. From the buyer perspective, though, from the lender and the agents generating buyers, for every one FSBO that an agent lists, you're probably going to generate a couple dozen buyer conversations as we're marketing their property, again, on Facebook Marketplace, on your social, in those Facebook groups. So this is a phenomenal way to build conversations with buyers, get them vetted, get them qualified, make sure they're ready to shop. By all means, take them to the FSBO if that makes sense. If the FSBO is not the right house, great. You just produced another qualified buyer ready to shop because of the marketing you did for the FSBO. So many beautiful ways to work this, and it's all a big cycle as all of these strategies start to come together. Again, I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty details right now because there is a coaching call that walks you through this. There are scripts, there are guides, there are resources in the Google Drive. Part of your challenge is taking that little bit of time to learn this for yourself. It's not overly complex, but if we were to walk through every single strategy as if it was his own coaching call right now, we'd be here till midnight, right? And that's just not how we want to do this for you. You've got all week to find 45 minutes here and there to go through this stuff. And again, the folder has it all. All right, killer open houses. If you're thinking about open houses as of, well, I have a listing and I'm trying to sell it, so I got to do an open house, you're thinking about open houses all wrong. We're going to show you how to leverage the open house as a full-on strategy to market you, to build your brand, to engage with other clients, to have great conversations and get pre-approved buyers. There's a whole strategy behind open houses. There's so much to this other than just let me walk into the house, fiddle my thumbs for 2 to 3 hours and hope for the best. But that ain't what we're doing here. We're using this as a very proactive tool to grow our buyer business. New construction showman. This is if you have new construction communities in your market. Listen, if you don't have new construction in your market, don't stress over this. You can skip line item number 8. If you ain't got them, you ain't got them. New construction is one more way you can build relationships that turn into your opportunities to build your brand, to create potential customers. You can leverage new construction to host open houses if you want, because they're brand new and shiny and fun. A lot of different ways you can do this. If you don't have them, don't stress over it. But if you've got new construction, you should be having conversations with them. Almost done, I promise. Strategic partnerships. This is actually one of my favorite strategies other than FSBOs probably, because it's so easy. And once you've done it, it's just perpetual. We're going to teach you how to have conversations with other professionals outside of the real estate space. We're not talking about an agent talking to a lender talking to an agent, right? That's why you're in the challenge. You're already partnered. We're talking about estate attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, divorce lawyers, bankruptcy attorneys, any other major big professional that you can think of. And we are going to build relationships with them where we share our clients with our partners so that they can get business, and they share their clients with us as their partners so we can get business. So as a quick example, I close several listings a year from my estate attorney, because when someone needs a will, when they need a power of attorney, when they need a medical directive, if they need a ladybird deed drafted, I send clients to my estate attorney to help them with those things. When my estate attorney clears the family through probate and they're now ready to sell the assets of the heirs, they send them to me to list the properties, right? If you're talking to CPAs, you're going to talk a lot of buyer conversations as well, because a lot of times the CPAs are telling their buyer clients, hey, listen, you got all this income. It'd be great if we had some more depreciating assets for your taxes. You might think about buying some rental properties. As your CPAs are having those conversations, they've got you, lender or agent, in the back of their mind to refer them to get them set up for that transaction. Financial advisors, the same way, right? There's so many great ways we can generate business simply by building partnerships where we mutually benefit each other and serve our clients better. No referral fees, no ad spend, no marketing budgets, just 2 great professionals sharing business when it makes sense to, right? That's a whole different strategy that most people have never thought of, but I promise you, once you start doing it, you're going to be like, why have I never done this before? Okay, last but not least, super critical. That's why it's in bold, super freaking critical. Your follow-up is what's going to make or break your success in this challenge. These are some quick stats for you. 80% of sales happen after the 5th attempt, right? The 5th. That means we need at a minimum 5 attempts before someone says, okay, I'm ready to work with you. But 92% of salespeople only follow up once or never. So there is a huge chasm between what most people do and what most people need to do to be successful. So in this challenge, the goal is 10 touch points in the first 30 days with every single new lead you generate. 10 in the first 30 days. Yeah, that's about every 3 days you're pinging somebody. But after the 10th, maybe before the 10th, you're going to either get, I'm not interested, leave me the heck alone. Great. No big deal. Now I know. I can take them out of my database. I never have to follow up with them again. They're not interested. Or you're going to get, hey, I'm so sorry it took me so long to get back to you. I really appreciate you staying with me. Yes, I want to go see that house. When can we schedule the showing? You have to consistently follow up with your leads or you're never going to do business with them. Now, I'll give you a real world tangible example. I put a FSBO on Facebook Marketplace to market the property. I had several people reach out about it. I showed it 4 or 5 times in the last, I don't know, several months. One of those buyers reached out to me. Is this still available? That's just, you click a button and it says, it's just, I responded, yes, it is. What questions can I answer for you? We're happy to set up a showing. Crickets. Followed up again. Crickets. Followed up again. Crickets. It wasn't until the 7th follow-up that they messaged me back. And they said, hey, Walt, thank you so much for continuing to engage with me. It was a crazy couple weeks. We absolutely still want to see that house. When can we schedule the showing? And that buyer didn't buy that for sale by owner. It wasn't the right fit after all, but they are now a qualified buyer that has been actively shopping with me in the $500,000 to $700,000 price point. I never would have had that client had I not followed up 7 times. So why we built this metric, 10 in the first 30 days. Do not slack on your follow-up. It will make or break your business. Okay. Really quick. This is not going to apply to everybody. This only applies to our real estate agents in the agent alliance with us at Epic Realty, but we built it for them. So there's some on the call. For the Epic agents, use the free leads that your brokerage is providing you. It drives me crazy when I hear agents say, well, I don't have any business. I'm sorry. Are you working the absolutely free leads? Well, no, I haven't logged into the CRM. Your brokerage is providing you absolutely free leads that are vetted, skip traced, and ready to go. Use them. There's no referral fees. There's no commission splits. It doesn't cost you a dime. Use those leads that you're being provided. In addition to the challenge to grow your own business, use what you're being given. Take advantage of all of the tools and resources that our brokerage is giving us, the listing billboards, photos, signs, all of the stuff. As you're talking to sellers, be sure to mention these things because while it's absolutely free to you, it's also a wonderful value proposition for your sellers to get listings. So just don't forget about these things. This should be part of your listing presentation when you're talking to sellers. Okay, you guys, you get it, right? Use your daggum resources. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're an Epic agent, use your benefits. Let's get back to the last piece, and then I want to unshare my screen to here. We're going to talk about some other stuff. If you are in this challenge and you are committed to winning in this challenge, these are the accountability commitments that you are agreeing to. 1, you build your calendar invite. The Zoom is provided. It's every Monday at noon Eastern. Put it on your calendar, show up to the accountability call, ask your questions, learn, grow, win together, right? Week 1, between now and 6 days from now, business planning for real estate coaching course, business planning for real estate roadmap. Use the workbook, fill out your business roadmap, have your plan in writing. There's a lot that goes into this. It's not just, here's my annual goal, I'm done. The workbook is several pages because I'm giving you a fully developed, well thought out roadmap for execution. You'll understand that when you watch the call. Please don't skip that. It's super important. And then go in and review the Google Drive, watch the different replays, go through the different resources, familiarize yourself with the folder so that you understand how everything works. And then last but not least, take some time each day to think about what you did that day, what result it generated. Do you need to do something different? Or was there a really great day you had some wins that you can share in the group? There's some questions that spark that you need to ask in the group. This does not have to be long and drawn out, but just give yourself 10 or 15 minutes to pause at the end of your day, assess what you did, what you maybe you should have did and you didn't do, and then collect your thoughts and be ready to execute on the next day. Okay, that's it. That's the whole roadmap. I know that's super high level and that's really fast paced. We're going to give you all of these resources to go watch again, to go read through again. I don't expect you to have retained every single word I said yet. It's okay. There's a lot to do. We got a lot of time to do it. We're going to work through it together. All right, let me unshare my screen and I'm going to jump right back into the screen share because I want to show you the Google Drive really quick so that you understand exactly what we're working with here. Okay. So the Google Drive, very simple. It's titled 100K in 100 days. Imagine that, right? When you first open it up, you're going to see a few documents on the front facing page. Again, start here. That's the roadmap we just walked through. If there's any questions, if you're not sure where to find a resource, if you want to read the frequently asked questions about the little nitty-gritty how-tos, it's right there in the document for you. The link to the Telegram group is right there. The replay to this launch call will be right there. The GCI tracker, which we'll talk about in a couple minutes, there's a template for you right there. Notice the folders across the top. Business planning for real estate, for sale by owners, marketplace and Facebook groups, open houses, strategic partnerships. Each of those folders houses the tools and the resources for that particular strategy. So if you open up the business planning for real estate folder, you will have a link to the replay of the coaching call. You will have the PDF version of the roadmap and a Word document version. Do not, please do not try to edit your workbook in the drive because you're going to step over the original and then someone else is going to try it and they're going to step over yours and someone else is going to step over yours and you're not going to have it. Anything that is a Word document or a Excel spreadsheet, I want you to save it to your computer first. And so what I mean by that, you hit the little 3 dots. If you use Google Drive, you can make a copy, put it in your own Google Drive. That's fine. Or you can hit download. It's going to ask you how you want to download it, Word documents, etc. You know, some of them will give you options on what format to save it, but save it to your own computer or your own Google Drive. I don't want you to lose the hard work that you put in because you edited it inside the Google Drive. And that applies to everything. If you're in the GCI tracker, save your own GCI tracker to your computer before you start filling it out. Okay. Again, as you go through these, you're going to notice all the files. Replay to the coaching call, script on how to have the conversation, template on how to ask if you can market somebody's property, the rent to buy strategy, coaching call on how to do it, some guides and templates for you to put it together, an entire layout of how you fill out the ad. We've given you all of the tools and resources that you need to execute this challenge. They're all here for you. They're on demand. You have access to them 24/7. So always feel free to refer back to them if you're not sure. And then, of course, ask good questions. We're here to help you as you go. The Telegram, real quick. You'll notice here it's segmented by categories. Like I said, we break this down by subject, which is kind of cool. Open houses, Facebook groups, post your questions. Start here is another hyperlink to the drive, FSBOs, etc. You'll very easily be able to find the information or the resources that you need. And you'll notice under the FSBOs at the top, it says pinned message. Under the strategic partnerships, it says pinned message. Facebook groups all the way down, right? The reason you see these pinned is because they're linking you back to the Google Drive where they're housed. So if you ever can't find them, just look at the top right corner of the Telegram in that subject, and you're going to go right back to the Google Drive. Okay. One more thing I want to share with you, and then we'll open this up for Q&A. one of the things that gets the most questions sometime is the GCI tracker. It is wildly important that you fill it out, but some people don't quite understand how to fill it out. So I'm just going to walk you through this really fast. This was my personal GCI tracker from the very first launch of this challenge on round 8. I stopped updating this at day 96. There are 4 categories that you should be working inside your GCI tracker. We have sold, pending, active, and future. Now, sold and pending, you probably all understand. Sold is closed, pending is active under contract, pending, we're working towards closing. You guys get that, I know. The question usually comes up between what's future business versus active business. And the easiest way to explain this is future business, you better be on your follow-up game, because that is not an active client yet. It's someone who expressed interest. It's someone who's told you they wanted to, but you haven't locked them into the active stage yet. Your follow-up becomes super critical. So for example, 107 Nancy Court was a listing that someone engaged with me in because I reached out about a Facebook. I was in a Facebook group. I was doing some active prospecting. I engaged the client and they said, yeah, I would love to have a conversation about listing the property. It's not on the market yet. They said they were interested. That's future business if I do my part, but it's not an active listing. If a buyer engages you from Marketplace and you start having a real conversation, but maybe they're not quite qualified yet, you got to get them to the lending partner. Or if you are the lender, you got to get them through the pre-qual process. Make sure they get you the docs, right? That's future buyer. They're not an active qualified buyer yet. Once we've got a listing on the market, it's active. Once we've got a buyer, this is how I quantify active buyer. The buyer is qualified. We have a pre-approval letter in place, and we are actively shopping for homes. I've got them on an MLS search. My agent's working the deal with them. And we are, no kidding, we are engaged in the buying process. We're scheduling homes to see this weekend. We're doing the thing. That's when they move from future to active, right? Obviously, pending, close, etc. Punchline, real quick. In 96 days, executing the strategies in this challenge, I generated $233,000 in new GCI. You'll notice it says 275 right here. I am taking out anything that I already had going before I started the challenge. In the challenge, in 96 days, $233,000 in GCI, executing the strategies I'm teaching you. Anyone can do this. I am not the exception. I want to be very clear about that. Anyone can execute these strategies. I can show you another GCI tracker if you like, just so that you know it wasn't an anomaly. This is my 2025 GCI tracker. So this is months and months later. Interest rates have gone up. The market has not gotten better since last May. And as of the time I stopped editing this, we were 90 days into the year so far. We're a little past that now, but this is a snapshot in the first 90 days of 2025. $228,000 in GCI in 90 days, repeatedly. I have agents blowing me out of the water on this, folks. I have agents that they're already at 300 grand in GCI and they're only 2/3 of the way through the challenge. We have agents that finished the challenge, closed, pending, active, or future, 350,000 in GCI in 100 days. There are lots of great examples about how these strategies work. You just have to be consistent in your execution of the strategies and you will make money from this, I promise you. Okay, that's the launch. I covered what we're doing. I covered where your resources are at. I covered a couple key points about the GCI tracker, the Telegram group, etc. After this call, I'm going to send out a We're Launched email. It'll be a recap of all we just talked about. This video replay will be in it. The Google Drive link will be in it. The Telegram link will be in it. And the link to the Zoom call that you need to put on your calendar every Monday at noon Eastern will be in it. You will have absolutely everything you need today to start learning to execute these strategies. You'll be ready to rock and roll. Do not be shy. Do not think, well, this sounds like a dumb question, so I'm not going to ask it. We are here to make you successful. Don't be shy. If you think it's a simple question, it might be a simple answer. Ask it anyway. There is no dumb question here. We want you to know everything you need to know to be successful. We want you to know how to use the resources. So we're here to help you any way we can. All right, that's all I got. I'm gonna hush now. I'm gonna open it up for any Q&A that might need to take place. I want to make sure we got all of our stuff rocking and rolling.